Soulful Guild, bringing you a beautiful message to start your day and hoping that you're grabbing your cup of glow so that we can fill it up. This is probably the last morning, maybe tomorrow I'll make it out here in the courtyard, that I'll get to just wake up and come out and sit in this beautiful courtyard, hear the birds sing, see the cat on the roof across the way. It's really kind of like you're in a movie. The planes go across the sky, the hummingbirds fly. It's just a wonderful thing. Anyway, good morning. It's going to be a really, really great day because we're going to make it that way. Today I decided I'm at my friend's, so I was looking through her cards and she has this deck I don't have, so I'm going to use it. It's Healing with the Fairies Oracle card by Doreen Virtue. This may have been one of her original decks. I don't know. But anyway, fairies are often represented, and not everybody believes in fairies. That's no big deal. If we believe in dragonflies or hummingbirds or plants or the little elementals, the earth elementals, those little things that fly in the sky and crawl on the rocks, those are elementals, okay? If you look really close and you have the imagination of a child, you might just see a face or a fairy. Go for it. It's fun. It is fun. I do it all the time. And I see faces everywhere. I make friends wherever I go. And I love nature because it's not there to do you wrong. It just is there to embrace you. So, this morning we're healing with the fairies. You put the words in there that you want. I'll read Doreen's. You use the word fairies, angels, spirit guides, whatever. You use your language while we read this beautiful message. Okay, funny, when I opened the deck, the first card on the top of the deck was just there. Usually they're upside down, but its message was just straight up, and I giggled, and I thought that would be a good one. But to be fair, I need to shuffle the deck and feel the cards and pull one with intention. So I did all of that, and then I pulled the same card, and that I knew that was the message for today, and it made it all the way back to the front. So that's a really great example of going with your intention and going with your gut, knowing that you have a feeling about something, you see it, and then you discard it and say, oh, but I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and how much faster it would have been. But that's okay. It was kind of a fun testimonial for me. Okay, the card is so awesome. Be honest with yourself. We are our own best trickers. We are our own best trickers. Okay? I love this card. Look at this little fairy butterfly angel gal, and she's just looking straight into the eyes of the dragonfly. Okay? And she's probably outside connecting with nature. Obviously, she's fervent in the way, she's holding her hands up. She's looking with intention into the dragonfly. I'm sure she has a prayer, a thought, a question that needs to be answered, just like we all do. And this is what the meaning of the card says in the little manual. I usually, when I do personal readings, sometimes I use the manual, usually intuition, but because, we're not together, and I want to be tangible. Touch the card, read it so that you can get the message, and then let your imagination take over, okay? The card meaning. This card indicates that you're hiding your true feelings and you aren't being forthright about an important topic. Well, that's probably applies to everyone, right? The fairies are urging you to admit your true feelings to yourself, okay? Now, interesting, the first thing it said was they want us to be true to ourselves. Admit your true feelings to yourself. When you admit the truth to you, when you allow your truth to come out, then you can be honest with others. And you know, there is this saying, well, I guess it's a saying, it's something I say, I've heard, it's been passed on, one of our legends, is that if you can't trust someone else, it's because you don't trust yourself. If you doubt someone else, it's because you first doubt yourself. So you need to trust you and feel good with that, knowing before you can then turn around and trust somebody else. Okay, do you feel stuck, depressed, tired, angry, or irritable? These are symptoms that rise when we're dishonest with ourselves. Maybe you feel that you can't afford to be honest with yourself and that you don't have a choice. I know that is the case for, you know, when we're not honest with ourselves, mostly it's not intentional. Mostly, I think we're trying to work into the truth. We're trying to accept that truth, wrap our minds around it. So as we go, this card is asking you to make any radical life changes or have a confrontation. Now, when I say confrontation, what I'm thinking and feeling is not with anger, with judgment, with anything but love. It just means get in front, be present, come to the person in front, come and confront with another person. However, it's urging you to admit your true feelings to yourself first and foremost. One way to get in touch with your true feelings is by going outside and engaging in a silent conversation with the fairies who live amidst the flowers, trees, and grass. Even if you can't see or hear the fairies, merely tell them everything that you're thinking, feeling, and experiencing these days. Gotta love the planes. They mean that we get places fast. The fairies love to hold a mirror up to us so that we can see and admit the truth. What is the truth? Most of my clients will tell you one of my favorite sayings is, and it comes from Byron Katie, is it really true? I mean, we say a lot of things. A lot of things come out of our mouths. We declare a lot of things. But what the angels are asking you to do and the fairies are asking you to do is after you say something, throw that line on right after, make it a more complete sentence or a question. Is it really true? Is that really true? And be honest with yourself and answer yourself. And when you answer yourself, then say, well, can you be sure that that is really true? And we're not just talking about, well, that's my opinion. We're talking about the truth of the situation. A lot of times we have concocted a belief that makes us think that something is really true. It, you know, for example, in our families, let's just go to the baseline, in our families or at work, that person just does not like me. We say it, we think it in our mind. Therefore, we get our shield on, we get prickly. Our mind is prepared, ready to attack. That's the energy that meets that other person. Well, before we put all those things on, get ready for that emotional battle, could we ask ourselves, could we interview ourselves just for a minute and say, is it really true that that person doesn't like me? And ponder, think, wait for your answer, and then ask again, how can you know that that is really true? Has that person actually come up to you and said, okay, there's body language and there's indicators, but has that person really said to you that they don't like you? Can we know that it is really true? Then sometimes we have to say the answer is no. The next question is, how does it make you feel when you hold on to that story? Wow, it ruins my day because I work with that person, or I come home to that person, or I'm around that person all day and they don't like me, and da 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 da. We have been in this mode all day of not love, of defensiveness, of being on guard, instead of just thinking that about that person. Let's turn it around and say, maybe it's me that doesn't like that person. Or do I even like myself? So let's just turn it around and say, I really don't like myself. That is what this card is telling you to do. Let the fairies, angels, elementals mirror you. When you make a really bold statement about someone else, put a mirror in front really fast of you and turn it around and see if the truth of the situation isn't that that is your issue. It might not be, but be willing to look at yourself and ask for the truth of the situation. The affirmation for this thought is, it is safe for me to be honest with myself and others. I speak my truth with love. You know, I did this the other day when we were at the pool, and I just laid there and floated on my back, and the clouds were just so beautiful. And if you've ever been a cloud gazer and watcher, they change so quickly. You can find all sorts of wonderful shapes. There's animals, then there's people, there's faces. Sometimes you can even see a face that you recognize. It's just really fun. Anyway, I was laying there looking at the clouds, and then I just realized I was then talking to the clouds and having a little conversation. That's kind of an example of what they're saying here. Go out into nature and start having a conversation with someone that's safe, with the cloud, with a stone, with the dragonfly, with a butterfly. But be talking to yourself and ask yourself, is it really true? If it isn't really true, and how does it feel to hold on to that story? If it doesn't make you feel good, are you willing to let go of that story and be honest with yourself? These questions are the work of Byron Katie. It's a beautiful work. If you haven't read any of her stuff, go get her, look her up, Byron Katie, YouTube, watch her at work. Her work is beautiful. It's straightforward. It's simple. We're just looking for the truth of the situation in life and for ourselves, right? Because I don't need to find out the truth for you unless it helps me to understand you. But my biggest job is to know what is true for me and to really know what is true for me. And if we're going around saying all day long all of these things about ourselves or others that aren't really true, we're creating a not real world for ourselves. And it might not be very pretty. So let's get honest with ourselves, with the truth of the situation. But mostly for yourself, be honest with yourself. This is going to change your world. Most things that we think, especially negative thoughts, because that is what dominates our mind, probably 7 of 10 thoughts are negative, and we save 3 good ones. Let's switch that around and find the beautiful and accelerate that. Celebrate that. Live in that truth. And then gravitate to it. Be in your truth. That's the message for today. I hope you have a beautiful day. Get a lot of get a lot of hydration, refresh yourself because it's hot out there and we need to get cool in here. Okay? Great day. Cup of Glow to you.